Welcome to Rich Conversations. So recently I looked at the statistics of this podcast, Rich Conversations. People ask all the time about numbers. Why do people care about the numbers when I don't even care about the numbers that much? I think it's because they probably want to make a judgment, and people like making judgments about things. See, I think long term, which means that I don't let my emotions or thoughts get tugged from every single direction after every episode, or in life just when things happen. So what I've noticed is that the more consistent I am, the more the numbers go up, and that's all that really matters to me right now. But I did want to know the breakdown of our listeners. Shout out to our international listeners. I think it's the coolest thing. And of our non-US listeners, Canada and Mexico are right there. And I think it's interesting that it's those two countries bordering the United States. And when something spills over, it goes to what's closest. And it's made me think more about how much our culture and worldview is actually shaped by geography. I made a joke the other day to my friend Felipe, something about Americans. I don't know what exactly. And he was like, why do people born in the United States think Americans is them? I'm American too. And I was like, well, you're Mexican. And he's like, I'm North American. And he's got a point, We're living on two American landmasses, and we're the Western Hemisphere. While we're different from one another, our culture and worldviews, they align very close together compared to living in other countries on other continents. I really started thinking about this back in January when I traveled to Paris. There was hardly any Latin American influence in the city. Here in Chicago, there's just so much. Latin culture is interwoven into the fabric of this great Midwest city. And it's part of the vibe, like the people, the food, the hangs, and I missed it when I was in Paris. No way would I want to live somewhere where there's not a lively Latin influence. I love it so much. It's part of my living experience. And I started feeling this kind of like Team Western Hemisphere, this like chip on my shoulder when I was over in Europe. Like, they don't get us. They don't get the Western Hemisphere type of thing. In Paris, though, there's much more like Middle Eastern and African influence. And it's all geography. The culture of the cities and countries is a reflection of the people. And when people move, they often move somewhere closer rather than farther, and they seek opportunity most. We can make geography as small or as large as we want. We can create friends or enemies however we choose our perspective. Playing sports as a kid, I competed against, other like grade schools close to me. And in those schools, we fed into one high school. And then, our competitive geographical boundaries, they expand out. So pretty soon in sports, you're representing a region of the state, and then the state, and then the region of the country, and so forth. With people from different places and cultures than us, we can always find common ground. And with digital technology, we can connect even easier than in years past. So with these two factors of finding similarities and digital technology, we can work together to create a harmonious world and future. On the last podcast, we talked to NASA's Kat Kennedy about space exploration. Imagine a day when we're communicating to something else, I don't know what, not the culture of this country or that city, but Earth's culture of planet Earth. So while appreciating our communities and cultures, we can focus on humankind to bring out the best in all of us. We need to aim higher because it's possible and it's a lot more fun.